Hey friends, it's Brittany. Good morning and hello. It's been over 2 months since I filmed, which I just can't believe. We have so much to catch up on. So grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea and a snack. Let's go sit down and let's chat. Hopefully this lighting is somewhat conducive to this. I don't normally sit here, but there's some construction going on next door with our neighbor's house, and it's been kind of loud in certain parts of our house, so I feel like this might be the best spot. But before we catch up, I just wanted to say I miss you guys. Like, the last couple months have been so crazy and honestly just like not the best, and it's been really weird to take a break from YouTube for this long. And if you're not one of my regulars and you're new here, my name is Brittany, and this is a very weird video to stumble upon first if you are new here. But usually on my channel I do like mom day in the life content, and I also do some cooking and grocery haul content. So that's kind of what you can expect from my channel. So I hope you guys will join my YouTube family. But I felt like it was really important for me to like sit down and kind of tell you guys where I've been for the last 2 months, because yeah, things have just been honestly like bonkers. So the last time I filmed, it was right before I went on vacation to Disney with my mom and Isaac, my son who's almost 2 years old. And I let you guys know that I was gonna be on vacation and I'd be back, and like I'd be back to filming and whatever. And then we got sick for literally over a month. Like, I am not even exaggerating. The level of unwell we have been has been unreal. So we got back from Disney, it was September 28th, and then my son started feeling sick pretty much like immediately. So I'm gonna try to like give you a synopsis so we're not here sitting here for 20 minutes, because I do have other things today that I want to share with you guys in this vlog. But basically we got COVID and I tested positive on October 3rd. Isaac was already sick, and so I kind of knew he had it, but we actually ended up back at the doctor for because his eye, I was pretty sure, was infected at the same time. So we ended up back at the doctor and I got him tested for COVID since we were there, and he tested positive. So we had COVID, that turned into bronchitis for me. He had an eye infection, COVID, an ear infection. He was treated for the ear infection with antibiotics, and then all of a sudden, it had been like a couple weeks, like it had been like 2 weeks since we tested positive for COVID. He was doing better, and then all of a sudden one night after I got home from dance class, he looked red, and I'm like, is he running a fever? So I felt him, he was burning up, his nose was running, he was coughing. I'm like, what is going on? So I was kind of thinking maybe this is what he had that wasn't completely better. Maybe he's got like a chest thing going on that's causing this. So I take him into the doctor the next day, and they say, he sounds like he has walking pneumonia, but also he's like, the runny nose and the drippy eyes is making me think this is something else viral. So they thought he had like 2 things going on. So I'm like, great. So he's sick with another virus, which means I potentially can get this. And obviously that wasn't like my first thought, but I'm just like, great, we have more germs, like we're gonna be sick for longer, like life has already been pretty much miserable the last couple weeks. So they prescribed us more antibiotics to treat like the chest infection, and I kid you not, we got home and within 30 minutes we ended up at a hospital. And I'm not gonna go into like full details because the whole experience was very traumatic, and like I feel like going into it is going to make me very emotional, which is just not what I'm feeling like doing this morning, if I'm being completely honest. But anyways, I ended up having to call 911. An ambulance came. It took me and Isaac to the hospital for him. Like, Isaac needed to be treated, and my husband followed us in the car there, and we I feel like very honestly like grateful that we ended up at the hospital, because once we were at the hospital, the hospital can test for pretty much like every virus on the planet, which is not something like the pediatrician can do. Their testing is so much more limited. But we found out that Isaac had parainfluenza, which is a respiratory virus. Honestly, parainfluenza is something from the research I've done, it sounds like probably a lot of people get and they just don't know they have, because the symptoms are like cold symptoms. But it also like can cause respiratory complications. So because of that, and I hear some noise outside, but of course I don't think it's the construction. I think it's my husband. He is always the culprit. You guys know he is always making noise in my videos. So now I'm debating, should I move? Let's move. Okay, relocated, and this lighting isn't my favorite, but this is what it's gonna be for now. So yeah, basically it's a respiratory virus, and it specifically can cause complications like in the upper respiratory system. Basically, like I was saying, we were grateful that we ended up in the hospital because we knew what he had, because we were able to get the test, and knowledge is power, right? So we, ironically, at the pediatrician, they were going to give us an antibiotic to treat it because they thought it was walking pneumonia, which is being diagnosed to kids so much this season. The amount of TikToks and Instagram reels and stories I've seen about kids getting diagnosed with walking pneumonia that doesn't go away for like a super long time is unreal. And so when we found out he had this, I was asking the doctor, because at the pediatrician, they said they heard crackling in the chest. And she said, well, yeah, like with this virus, you can hear that and it kind of comes and goes. But she said, honestly, right now, I'm not hearing it. She said, if I were the doctor this morning and I heard that, I probably would have thought the same. But because we're at the hospital and we can do the test, we know. And I just think it's interesting because of the amount of people being diagnosed with walking pneumonia. I was thinking, I bet all these people are getting misdiagnosed with walking pneumonia. They're given antibiotics and their kids don't get better with the antibiotics because it's a virus and antibiotics don't treat viruses. So after the fact, like I've been to a couple doctor's appointments. I actually was at my pulmonologist yesterday for my asthma, and I was kind of telling her about that. And she says, yeah, like I do think that's kind of the case, because most doctors, like, we're not going to know because we don't have the test. So it's just kind of interesting. Isaac was okay. Like, again, ending up at the hospital was the best thing for us. The whole experience was very scary, the way it all happened and went down. But grateful for the paramedics and the hospital staff. And we ended up only being there for like a day. It wasn't like we stayed overnight or anything. But it was just such a whirlwind experience. And then I ended up getting what he had. And because I had just had COVID and bronchitis, like I was just coming out of an upper respiratory infection. And with my asthma, when I get stuff like that, it's always worse than the average person. It's never just a cold or cold symptoms. It just always becomes more complicated for me. So I got it, and let me tell you, the parainfluenza kicked my hiney. Like, guys, it was so bad. I don't know if I've ever been that sick, which is kind of crazy because I've had really bad cases of the flu. I've had really bad cases of COVID, especially just coming out of COVID. I feel like it was in a sense worse than the COVID. COVID, I felt like overall worse. But the chest stuff with the parainfluenza was wicked. It was not good. Like, it got to the point where I literally could not sleep because I would get in these really intense coughing fits and be up for like almost an hour, like almost throwing up because of the congestion. Sorry guys, I moved again. Derek's back and I just like this spot better. It's comfier and cozier and the lighting is so much better. But needless to say, I was very, very sick, as was Isaac. I do feel like Isaac bounced back a little quicker than me. At the hospital, they gave him a dose of prednisone, and that definitely helped a lot. So I would say within like a couple days, he seemed like he was doing a lot better. like honestly, even just like I feel like 2 days he was doing a lot better. I mean, obviously he was coughing for a while, but for me it was bad. Like I thought I might have pneumonia, so I ended up going to my doctor and they did a chest x-ray, and luckily that came back clear, so that was a relief. But they did put me on a very, very long, extensive dose of prednisone that I was on for like weeks that tapered off. And I've been on that before for my asthma and bronchitis, but this was more than I've like ever taken, just because I was so sick and could not breathe. Like it was just really, really bad. And honestly, I didn't start feeling like myself again until a week ago, which is why like I haven't filmed in over 2 months. So that's kind of the story and everything that's been going on. And I've shared with you guys before that I do have some anxiety. I feel like I'm like breaking out in a rash right now. What the heck? I have I was diagnosed with like postpartum anxiety when my son was 15 months old. I think it was one of those situations where I probably had a little bit of postpartum depression and anxiety that just went untreated for a really long time. And I started therapy and it was helping a lot. My anxiety is very like health driven because I've had a lot of health related problems or issues or experiences in the last like year and a half, like in a very condensed time frame. And I was doing so much better with going to therapy. Like I was feeling better. Like I feel like some of my like habits and tendencies that I was working through related to my health anxiety had gotten so much better. And I kid you not, that ambulance ride to the hospital, everything was undone. It was just like I was back to ground zero, and it's been really rough. Like my mental headspace has not been good at all, which is also why like I was forced into a break from YouTube, but I also was like really prioritizing just taking time for myself and not like rushing back into it because things have been so rough. Like my mental health has not been good, and I feel like in the last week or two I finally kind of caught up on life, just like the household stuff, like my work, like I've been catching up, and also just getting back into routine and doing the things that are good for my mental health. And so once I got to that point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I've kind of gotten a grasp on things and can do this. So that's why we're finally here. But I just wanted to share that all with you. One, just as like, obviously I want to catch up with you guys and let you know what's been going on, but this has been a really bad sick season for a lot of parents and children. So I wanted to kind of share that experience just so you can be more aware, I guess. Like if your kid gets sick and you're kind of, I don't know, wondering what could be going on if you go to the doctor and they diagnose you with walking pneumonia and like you're not sure. I feel like with going to the doctor, it's like sometimes I've had doctors where they tell me, like for example, the first time we took Isaac to the pediatrician, I asked about him getting tested for COVID, and the doctor said, oh, I don't think so. I mean, it's gonna cause more worry like if he does have COVID than necessary. And in my gut I kind of was like, I'd rather know though, you know? And then ironically, we ended up back at the doctor a couple days ago and he got tested for COVID and he was positive. But I would have rather known that up front, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those instances where it's like, as a parent, I feel like your gut is usually right. So it's just a reminder to be an advocate for yourself and for your children when it comes to healthcare stuff. And I just wanted you guys to know so you could be aware of what's going on. Or not what's going on, what's going around. COVID's really bad, RSV is really bad. This para-influenza stuff is crazy. And also whooping cough is going around in Maryland, which is medieval. I literally did not know that that was something people still got, but apparently that's going around too. So it's just a really bad sick season. Just wanted you guys to mention some of that because we've been at so many doctors. So I feel like we have learned a lot about what's going on or going around. I keep saying going on, going around. so that if you have littles, you can be on the lookout. And we've really been trying, since this has been like we've gotten better, I've been really mindful of like trying to keep Isaac's hands clean, like when we get home, like I wash them and stuff and all the things. But it's been a wild time and I'm happy to be back. I honestly do not know what my YouTube posting schedule is going to look like. I'm not going to force myself to post because life has just been really crazy, and I'm kind of in the mindset right now that I'm going to do what fuels my happiness and the betterment of my mental health. And sometimes filming YouTube videos is, and other times it's not. I've been trying to spend less time on social media because I also feel like that's been helping my mental health. So I'm just trying to focus on all the things that make me a better version of myself. So with that, today we're doing a day in the life vlog, which I'm excited about because we haven't done one in so long. So I'm going to go to the kitchen and we're actually going to put on a crock pot dinner. It's going to be a chicken parmesan soup, which is a new recipe I'm trying. I'm really excited about it. And then I also have a doctor's appointment today, but it's actually close to Trader Joe's. So I think I'm going to try to go in there and see what they have. I would like to get a couple things for Thanksgiving if they have it in the freezer section, and also just peruse and see what they have. And yeah, that's kind of like the highlights of today and what we're going to be up to. My mom's coming over to watch Isaac while I go to my appointment, so that will be really nice because I get a little bit of alone time, which is always so good to kind of recharge and reset as a stay-at-home mom. So anyways, thank you guys so much for your patience and just all your support. I really appreciate it. It really does. I've been thinking about you guys honestly the last 2 months because, you know, I do like recognize and know your names, and I miss seeing your comments and just being a part of this little community. So I really am hoping to be posting more regularly as the holidays are coming up. I want to find a balance of being able to share but also make sure I can really savor and enjoy the holidays, and crossing my fingers that we're healthy for the holidays. I feel like at this point we've had so much, I'm like, please spare us. Also, here's Oreo in the background. Hey Oreo. There he is. All right, let's go to the kitchen, let's unload the dishwasher, and then let's go ahead and get dinner on. Okay, I gotta throw this on real quick because I gotta head out to my appointment, and my mom just got here and Isaac's playing, so it might be a little noisy. We'll see how this goes. But this is super easy. This is a chicken parmesan soup from Eating on a Dime. I'll link the recipe below. This is the first step, and then we'll do the rest later. So I've added 2 chicken breasts. I think the recipe calls for 3, but these are pretty large. Some minced garlic, and then we're gonna add a can of crushed tomatoes. This is 28 ounces. Then I've got a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. Okay, now I've got 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, and the only modification I added, made was I added a couple teaspoons of sugar and a little bit of crushed pepper, red pepper. This is probably 2 teaspoons of sugar, not a lot, but just to cut back on some of the acidity from the tomatoes. And then to this, I'm going to add 4 cups of chicken broth, which is approximately, now actually I think it's the whole container. So this is a 32-ounce container of chicken broth. And then I'm just gonna give this a light stir, and then I'm gonna put this on low it's low for 6 to 8 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on 8. And then tonight we'll do the pasta and we'll add some veggies to this, shred the chicken, and then add some cream to it. But this is super simple, minimal ingredients. I'm hoping it will be delicious. It sounds delicious. home. Well, I've been home for a little bit, but I actually ended up not getting back till like 1:30, and my appointment, I left the house a little bit after 10:30. So I was gone for a bit. Trader Joe's, guys. I mean, treasure trove. I did not know this, but apparently like mid-November is the time to go, because I'm trying to think back. I usually don't go this time of year, because usually what happens is I go to Trader Joe's in like early fall, and then because I only go like every couple of months, I guess I just skip Christmas altogether. But going mid-November, they have like all the fall stuff, then they have Thanksgiving stuff, and they have Christmas stuff. So I got so much good stuff. I ended up spending $200. I'm like, did not need to spend that. And I did successfully find the sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes I wanted, and I inserted a little bit of footage when I was in the store that you already saw. But I'll give you like a quick sneak peek of the stuff that I got. But I actually just filmed a full Trader Joe's haul that I'm gonna put in a separate video that will go up next week. So you guys will just have to be on the lookout for that. But that's my first grocery haul back on YouTube in over 2 months. So yay, this is just like an exciting first day of filming in so long, and I'm having fun, so it's exciting. Let me give you a quick little sneak peek. Put all my cold stuff away, but I'm just gonna quickly give you guys a glance. You'll have to stay tuned for the full haul where I talk about everything. Most exciting find was all their beauty stuff for the holidays is out, and so I picked up my friend and me their body butters to try. I've heard these are really good. They're supposed to be like the Brazilian, is it the Brazilian Bum Bum Cream? Is that the name of it that I'm thinking of? But it's supposed to be like that. And I remember last year her telling me about it, and she was saying, oh yeah, I'm going to Trader Joe's because I want to look for their advent calendar and their body butters that they brought out. And they were already sold out. So today when I saw everything, I texted her, and she's actually out of town. And I was like, look, do you want anything? Because Trader Joe's is fully stocked. So she requested a body butter, and I decided to grab one as well. So super excited about it. If you're looking for this, run, don't walk. Like, you need to get to Trader Joe's now because they will sell out. So it's 2:45 now. I put Isaac down for his nap at 1:30, and I've just been filming this whole time. So I need to eat lunch before he wakes up. And I know I'm eating lunch so late. I actually was just snacking on some of the Trader Joe's stuff, but I need to eat some real food. Oh, did they eat all the chicken? Oh, I guess. Oh no, they put the chicken in this container. Okay, I'm gonna eat some leftover grilled chicken and sausage from last night, and then I also have some roasted potatoes and veggies. So that's what I'm gonna eat for lunch. I was like confused because the chicken was on a plate earlier, but my mom must have condensed it when Isaac had lunch to a separate container. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat my food up. The crock pot smells so good. I'm so excited to show you guys tonight, like the end result, and do a taste test and let you know how this recipe is. But I'm gonna go try to eat and sit down and relax for a little bit. As far as the rest of the afternoon goes, I'm excited to spend time with Isaac because I feel like I haven't really seen him at all today. And honestly, the last couple days I've been busy with appointments and running errands. So I just feel like I haven't seen my little buddy. And then last night I had dance too. So yeah, I've just been spending a lot of time away from him. So I like miss him. So I'm excited to hang out tonight because tonight I don't have to go anywhere and our dinner is like super easy. So it should be like a really low-key night. And I'm thinking since he went down for his nap a little earlier than usual, he'll probably like wake up and maybe we can go outside and play before it gets dark. So that's the game plan. I also need to like find a home for all these groceries, and I do have friends coming over tomorrow for a play date, so I should probably try to clean up a little bit. We'll see how that goes. I really need to mop my floors, but that always seems like such a project. So we'll see what we do. But I have you guys to hold me accountable, so maybe I'll feel inspired to be productive. It is dinner time and I'm wrapping up our meal. So I just shredded the chicken. So I took the chicken breast out of the crock pot, added some baby spinach to it, and then I'm about to add the heavy whipping cream. I honestly am just gonna like eyeball it and add as much as we think we want in there. I'm also debating on if I should add some Parmesan cheese to the soup. And then over here, I've got our pasta boiling. I'm just using rotini because I had half a box left, so we're just using that up. So This is so easy. We have an hour left on the crock pot. At this point, the chicken's cooked. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the cream to it so that can heat through. We'll add the pasta and then that will be dinner. And then I'm going to pull some garlic bread, either breadsticks or garlic bread out of the freezer and stick that in the oven. I'm so excited to try this, guys. Here is the finished soup. Looks great. And I was worried I didn't have enough pasta, so I ended up making some elbows for Isaac and just putting the soup kind of over top, because honestly he's not super into soups, but if I present it like it's pasta, I think he'll probably eat it a little bit better. He's not a picky kid at all, except for when it comes to soup. That's like the one thing he's not a huge fan of. So and here's the breadsticks, and then I made a little Caesar salad that's already on the table. Dinner served. Okay, all done with dinner. This was super good. Also, it made so much. Me and Derek only had one bowl because it was very filling. Plus, we had the salad and the breadsticks. So, yeah, this could feed probably like 8 people. So we'll definitely have leftovers for tomorrow. And my friend's coming over tomorrow for lunch. So I may even offer her some of this for lunch if she's interested, because we usually eat lunch together on the days we have play dates. So yeah, we have lots left over. Highly recommend the recipe. Really simple. It's basically like a tomato basil soup, but with pasta and chicken. So we really liked it. Well, I have to finish cleaning up the kitchen, and this is like the crazy time of the night where we're trying to get Isaac to think about going to bed. So I'm gonna sign off here. I hope you guys enjoyed my first vlog back. It felt so good to pick up the camera again, get some things done, share some stuff with y'all, and yeah, I'm just really happy to be back with you all. If you enjoyed this video, show it some love, give it a like, comment below, and say hi, and stay tuned for that full Trader Joe's haul and all the upcoming videos that I have planned in the coming weeks. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, bye!